it, sports fans, to the show presented by Whitetail Properties and in partnership with many other fine sponsors here in the community. We'll get to those in just a moment. First, I want to welcome our guest today, of course, Coach Courtney, and his part of his cast and crew here, and Brandsassee. And if you can spell that one, you're going to get extra points today. Brandsassee, he's your center. He's a guy you don't see a whole lot in the stats, but does a yeoman's chore down there in the trenches. And then, of course, Kaiden Travis, he's a junior. Sophomore. Sassee's just sophomore. And junior right end Kaiden Travis. He plays a little bit on the offensive side of the ball at times. We'll get into that. Again, the show's in partnership with Whitetail Properties, Mark Williams Land Team, and First United Bank, Hodge Sports and Apparel, Seaplant Federal Credit Union, Riley Tool and Machine, USA Mortgage, that's a Darrick Myers, The Heritage at Marion Golf and Pool, Deer Lakes Golf Course, Curnel Ag, KB Pharmacy, Johnson's Furniture and Appliance, never cut today, YTG Insurance, Tanner Tabor is your agent, and Frazer Law Firm, that's Bart, Frazer, Jonathan James, and Wes Hunt. Serena Dickerson over at Full Body Fitness Studio, Livingston Hospital, a Deaconess affiliate, H&H Home and Hardware, Farmers Bank and Trust Company, and Par 4 Plastics. A lot of great partners here in the community, guys, and hey, they're supporting you all the time, so stop in and see them and say hi. Spend a little money at some of their businesses. Your tractor breaks down, call Curnel Ag, right? All right, this week, Rockets, round 2 of the playoffs. Coach Courtney, quite a challenge this week. OCATH, we've seen them before. OCATH's number 1 team in RPI at the end of the season. Crittenden County was number 7. If you look at the polls, Owensboro Catholic's number 3, and Crittenden County's number 9. So this is a top 10 matchup, Coach Courtney. What do you got for the Aces this time? You got any wrinkles?
We'll have a couple wrinkles, but that's not really, I don't think, make or break it. Just last time we played them, obviously they're a really good football team, and we just made way too many mistakes, giving the ball over, a couple turnovers. It was a crazy game. We fumbled first time we get it, we fumbled the kickoff. Then they had already scored, so they go down and score. Then I think we score the next play. Is that right? No. Then we fumble the next play.
Yeah, they scored 3 out of the chute.
Yeah.
And then we scored 2.
Yeah.
And this is a one-possession ball game.
Yeah. So it was crazy. We fumble the kickoff, and then first offensive play, we have a breakaway play, and just the kid makes a great play and chases us down, and we fumble on the 5-yard line. So in 2 times we've touched it, we had fumbled it twice. And then, and obviously their offense was rolling, and we had trouble stopping them in the beginning. But then on the 3rd play, we score. So it was just crazy. And then we're able to get a couple, like a pick 6, I believe, right after that, and then another interception. So it was just a crazy game. And then end up scoring, 3 touchdowns in 50 seconds, I believe, is what it ended up being. So just we got to take care of the football. Yes, we got to take care of the football. So that was the biggest takeaway. And they're a really good football team. You got to limit every mistake, but especially the big mistakes of giving the other team the football. And we got to shore up some things on defense as well. We didn't play perfect anywhere, but there were some things that we did well in that game. We just got to take from those things, and that's what we try to do and build off of them and see where we can be better at. But taking care of the football and just a simple execution of not beating ourselves. A team that good, you can't come in there and beat yourself, that's for sure.
Yeah, and they are a good team, just a whole barrel full of stars, really. And right at the top of the barrel is Brady Atwell.
Uh-huh.
And, I was kind of scanning through his Twitter account this morning and looked. He's got to be at Marshall University for an official visit Saturday.
Someone else had told me that.
So he's going to have to hot huff it after the ball game to get over in West Virginia.
Yeah, that's a long way.
Pretty good haul. But he is a junior and fine quarterback. Father was Mr. Football.
Actually, it's his uncle.
Oh, Trev?
Yep, that's his uncle. Yeah, it's his uncle.
Is that right?
Yeah. We had it wrong earlier.
Well, I had always thought.
Yeah, it's actually his uncle.
Yep. I'll be doggone.
Yep.
Well, I saw where Travis posted something on the Twitter about him.
Yeah, unless I got bad information again, but The coach who used to coach Travis Atwell.
Man, I'm pretty sure I've seen articles about that being his dad.
Oh, really? Well, maybe
I'm
we're
pretty
wrong.
sure. I'll go back and double check that too. We'd hate to be wrong on all counts. So anyway, he's gonna be the trigger guy for this team, and then they had these Carico boys who were just brutal too. Just quick after they made the catch. So we'll talk a little bit more about that in depth in a minute. But anyway, this is a team that is 11-0. They're undefeated. Start with Kaiden over here. Kaiden, what do you remember about the first matchup with Owensboro Catholic out here that maybe we can improve on?
We've seen some flaws in their pass protection, so we have a plan to get through that a lot easier than we could last game.
Mm-hmm. And you're one of the guys that's got to put the pressure on the quarterback. And how many sacks you have this year? I hadn't looked.
One, I think.
One. Well, it's time for you to rack up about 5 more this week, big boy.
A lot of opportunities.
Yeah, they throw it about as much as we do.
Yeah.
Actually, I think they threw ball last time more than we did.
Yeah.
A very similar type offensive scheme as we have. They rely on the pass to move the ball down the field. But, so getting some pass rush. How important is it to get pass rush on this quarterback, and how susceptible is he to? I mean, he's pretty mobile guy.
It's once you get pressure on him, like once you get one hit on him, he's going to be looking back for you for the rest of the game. Mm-hmm. So once you start putting pressure on him, he's always going to have that thought in the back of his head that you're coming at him. So it kind of messes with him a little bit on his throwing.
Mm-hmm. So just knowing that you're somewhere lurking around back there, the intimidation factor. Yeah. Get up, beat your chest. You get a 15-yard penalty and all that. How many 15s have you had this year?
I think I've only had one.
Oh, good for you. Bless your heart. You're in the minority, aren't you?
One's too many. Over 15.
So Sassy, and we shortened Brandsassee to Sassy, right? I mean that's the nickname. Not that you're a sassy young fella. Just a little short version of Brandsassee. So, on your side of the ball, what do you think we have to do better?
I think our offensive line just needs to step it up this week more than last week. But I think our quarterback and everybody just needs to connect. Like, if we can get going, we're going to be going. Mm-hmm. And if they're stopping us something, we're going to change our game plan and get to moving again.
What's it take to get our offense going? And what is going? I mean, is it scoring often and early? Is it
everyone doing their job and working together, not fighting in the huddle and getting mad at each other? We only stay together as a team and just win it out, ride it out.
Yeah, there's never any tension in a huddle, is there?
No, a lot of the time there's not. But after a play, someone messes up, we're all like, "Come on, man, get it next time." But we're just trying. We need to work harder together and be more physical this week.
So last week against Todd Central, you guys, there late in the game, really just took control of the football game. Last was I think 3.5, 4 minutes. You knew you had to run the clock out, and the teams, in all honesty, struggled a little bit running the football at times this year. But you guys just got in front of Gatton Travis and just rock and rolled it down the field, three first downs in a row, and just wiped out the clock. What was different on that drive?
Well, I'm just guessing the offensive line. We all just stepped up and we knew we had to win this week, and if we wanted to play again, so we all just stepped up and put it away. Yeah,
the seniors kind of took command of that game, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
Yeah, did they say anything in the huddle? Did you get anything from them in the huddle?
Not really. Everybody was just locked in and focused to get it.
Yeah, you knew what they wanted, and you were out there to help them.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're going to take just a brief break here and roll our sponsors and let you take a look at them. Again, we want you to patronize them all you can. We appreciate all they do for Rocket Sports. We'll be right back in just a minute. All right, we're back, and we're going to get back into the nuts and bolts of this game coming up on Friday night over at Owensboro Catholic, and that game will be at the Kentucky Wesleyan campus. It's they share a stadium there. I think it's called Steel.
I believe that's
Steel
right.
Stadium. It's there on campus, right off of Frederica, I think,
So,
the main drag through
it's the main
Owensboro.
street.
Pretty easy to find. Put in the Kentucky Wesleyan football field, and it'll get you right there for those of you that are going for the first time. We made that trip down there several times back. What was it, 10 years ago? We were in Class 2A before. It was miserable. So we're looking for a little better trip this time. We played with these guys for almost a half over here, and really kind of probably had some eyebrows raising a little bit out on the Twitter sphere. I know we were posting every time the score changed, and we were getting some comments kicked back on that. But one thing we have to do, we talked about this just a minute ago, is run the football. Against them last time, we rushed for 21 yards, and they were at almost 200. We've got to do a little better job, don't we, Coach Courtney?
Yeah, I think so. And you take last game when we're scoring on big plays to start the game, and then we're turning the ball over. So they're getting so many more plays. First thing we got to do is just be able to not necessarily control possession. I'm not a big possession guy, but you got to have some offensive plays. So we got to pick up some first downs. And in order to rack up those yards, they were able to put together big drives and do a good job running. The quarterback's a load running the football for them, and they got a host of backs that they can put in there, 4 or 9, 22 or 24. I get a little mixed up. They got 15 maybe. They got a lot of guys that can carry it. They do a good job. But their quarterback's probably their biggest threat running the ball. And for us, I don't think there's any secret. You want to try to keep Atwell off of the field. And the way you do that is to run the football, keep the clock going, be able to pick up first downs. We got to find ways to do that. We wanted to run the ball all year and have honestly struggled doing it. So we've looked at new ways, honestly, to try to do some things, pick up first downs, and just keep that clock going and try to keep him off the field. But that'll be a big key to the game, to be able to pick up first downs, and not just necessarily big plays. We want those too, but just to keep that clock running and keep 7 on the sideline.
In regard to the rushing game, Gatton's back there sometime. You see Tyler Belt back there. Jacob Carter gets a lot of touches, or has lately. Talk a little bit about what each of those bring and why maybe they're in there at a certain time of the game.
Yeah, Gatton is just like your starting overall. Like, he's just your ace back. He's the guy that we usually start with. He's been injured a little bit. He's back to full health now and looked really good finishing that game. But he can give you everything. He's kind of your in-between back. He can give you everything. Good power, good speed, can catch the ball in the backfield, can block, really just overall good back, just kind of in the middle of what you need. Tyler's your athletic guy. You want to put him back there. You can throw it to him. You can create big plays, hopefully, in the run game for him. More of your home run hitter type scat type back. And then Carter's kind of in between those two things, I think. He's got some good speed. He's a young back. He can hit the home run, but he can also, make your every down running plays too. So he's kind of just your second back that can give Gatton a blow. And he's took on a lead role here recently in a lot of games. He's a really good back. Just young, obviously, and the seniors have taken more of those snaps back there. But he's a really good back and really capable of doing anything back there. So all three do a good job when they're back there.
Yeah. I like Carter. I remember in middle school watching him, and he kind of plays a little chip on his shoulder.
He does.
And man, that'll take you a long way.
Yeah.
Really, you have to play this game that way.
Yeah, I like it. Just as long as you keep it, where it doesn't hurt the team. That's the kicker to all of that. Playing with that emotion, but not being emotional and getting penalties and things like that. But he's done a good job at that, and I like it too. He does play with the chip on his shoulder, and I like that.
Yeah. Well, you guys chime in a little bit on these running backs, and what do you see in any of these guys? It's a bit like we talked about 3 here, and it seems like there was somebody else back there a time or two. I can't remember off the top of my head, but then Coach, of course, Micah's a runner. When their numbers called, who you think's going to provide what you need? I mean, all of them have their own set of skills and assets. What do you think, Sass?
I think all of them are pretty good backs, but Gatton is our go-to guy.
Yeah.
He's got the power, the speed, he can catch. So when I'm really thinking about the big plays, I'm looking for Gatton or I'm looking for Tyler Belt because he's not as big or powerful as Gatton, but he has the speed, the athletics, and like the jukes and stuff like that on Gatton. But Gatton's a good back. I love Gatton. Gives it back. Tyler's a good back too. And then Jay Carr, he's a new guy to it. He's good. He's learning how to do it and get all that done. He got a touchdown last week. He was so excited.
Yeah, his first one, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think it was too. I should have mentioned that in the article I did. So those guys get a lot of lot of FaceTime, a lot of name time in the stats. Who is it down in the hole down there that the big numbers that do not maybe we overlook and they don't get enough credit? Who's the guy when we really need some yardage we're going to run behind? And you can say yourself.
I just think it might be like Lane Zener. Lane is a big guy. He's strong. He takes the biggest guys most of the time. Zener, small, like Sammy Postato. He's stouty. Yeah. He's fast, and he's a mean guy. When he pulls, nobody wants to get in front of him. So everybody just tries to make it where he has to log him. So it's right behind him. Yeah. Or if we're running like zone left, it's off me or Zener. Or if we run right, it's off one of us two again. Yeah. It's really good. Yeah. I don't know who the best, but one of us is better than the other.
Yeah. So, Kaiden, you have an interesting perspective on this from your vantage point. You play a little bit down there. You're what, six man kind of, or you're one of the
first. Yeah, he's kind of
guy.
like a rotating guy. If something goes down, he'll be the next one up from the first offensive side.
Yeah, off sideline. So, who do you say? Who's the guy that brings his lunch pail every game down there?
I'd say probably Lane or Grayson. But when it comes to pass pro, you won't see no one with technique like Grayson.
Yeah. He
is pinpoint on all of his technique. But when it comes to just like zone blocking, Lane is unstoppable. You don't see him miss a block. But like when it comes to pulling, you'll have Zener, like he said, no one wants to get in front of him. He's about 5'2", 200 pounds. He's scared to get in front of him.
So on the we'll flip over to the defensive side of the ball and talk just a minute while you got the microphone, so to speak. Defensively, you guys it plays pretty good ball this year. A lot of seniors on this team, a lot to play for this week. What do you see as defensively? What do we really have to do? We talked a little bit about it a while ago about getting everything, but who's got to be the man? Who's got to step up? Who's got to be your pick to click? And Bennett's had some great games. Kaiden Howard's had some great games defensively. The list goes on and on. But who's got to really click in this game?
I'd say our corners. Gabe Keller, he has, I think, 10 picks now.
6, I think. Is it 6?
Yeah.
5 or 6?
Yeah, 5. Yeah.
Still a lot though.
Yeah. He had one last time, and was he the one that returned it for the touchdown? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Pick 6, the only one he's had, I think.
And he needs to really go pinpoint on this game. And at the other corner, I think we have Cameron
and Jacob, yeah.
And they're both really good. You can swap either of them out, and they're going to get their job done. Our secondary in general, we have a really good secondary on pass plays, and on the run, they stop the run early. We really need to stop the pass this week because they pass a lot. But on the run, we need to fit the run.
Yeah, we're going to have some good play out of secondary linebackers. It's whole shit. I mean, to beat this team, everybody's got to be clicking, Coach Courtney, right?
Yeah, it's going to take everybody. There's really, I was trying to think of what I would say, and I don't even really know. Because you need the pass rush, you need the secondary to be able to cover, and then you definitely need the linebackers to be able to read things. Because I'm not saying they couldn't line up and run the ball right at you. They could, but at the same time, it's like pass, and then here comes the quarterback taking off running at you. So if you get pass, and just kind of soften you up, and then they run it right at you. So that's a big thing too, and I think it creates a lot of big run plays for them. So it's going to be a group effort. I don't think one group will be able to get it done or two. I think it's going to be the front, the middle, and the back. I think we'll all have to play well to be able to have a chance in this game.
Yeah. If you just describe an Owensboro Catholic, I mean, you've seen them and you've watched a lot of film on them, seen them live, and what would you describe them as? I mean, they're passing. I mean, how would you describe them to somebody that's not seen this team before?
Me?
Yeah.
I would say they're a spread team, heavy pass, really, really good prototypical quarterback that can move. leading receiver in the state, I believe, in 2A, which is a Carrico kid with number 9. And then a cast around those guys offensively. 4 is really good on offense too, but better defensively, in my opinion. And that's not taking anything away from an offense. He's just that good defensively. And they just have those 2 guys are stars to me on offense, and then just a cast of really, really good players around them. The ball can go anywhere. They can stretch the field 50, 60 yards. He can throw it. Most quarterbacks on a hash are not going to throw the ball in the flat to the other hash. He can make any throw on the football field. You got to cover the whole width of the field with him. So just extremely hard to defend. And like I said, then they can counterpunch and they'll run you. And their best runs to me is when their quarterback just takes it himself. So a lot of things to stop. Really well coached, and really good players. It makes for a tough team.
So we branded in. I'm going to let you brand the Rockets. What kind of team are we, Kaiden?
On offense,
Yeah, you give me offense, we'll let him do defense.
All right.
We'll flip the roles on you.
well, I'd say we pass more, but we can also run down your throat if we need to.
Yeah.
With Gatton, and we have Bennett running the ball some, and then if we want to, we can also give Tyler the ball, get outside, and run for 30. I mean, we can really do about anything.
You talk about Bennett running the ball. You do run that on your heavy package time, put him in there. But I want to tell you, he's kind of turned into a little bit of a receiver, hadn't he?
In the past couple of games, he has, yeah.
Yeah,
He scored a few points catching the ball. Senior Bennett McDaniel. So, Sassy, what about on your side there? What are you seeing? What do you put a label on that defense?
I think we have pretty mean defense. The shutout we had against Caldwell, they got 1 touchdown against us, but Caldwell's a really good team. I'm gonna give it to them. They're pretty good. They came in with focused and ready to go. Biggest rivals of the year. But our defense, we can defend the pass and we can stop the run up front. We're an all-around good defense.
Who do you think is going to be clicking for the defense to really be on its toes this week for OCAD?
I think Bennett.
Yeah.
Bennett, he really needs to be on point this week.
Yeah. Of course, he's been on points in big games already this year.
He's played really well.
Played well. Bennett McDaniel. Mentioned him on both sides of the ball right there. So, again, this week we'll go up to Owensboro Catholic. We're 0 for 10 against these guys, so it's time to, we're going to jinx them. 0 for 10. They've never lost to us. So, we'll put the magic wand on them up there and let's get a win. It's certainly a formidable opponent, big hill to climb, however you want to slice it up and present it. Good football team. They're undefeated and ranked way up there on everybody's poll. So just to kind of hit some things, kickoff will be a normal time, 7 o'clock. Cash at the gate, I think, is what I heard. Mm-hmm. Cash at the gate, no need to get on the GoFan and buy your electronic ticket. So that's a positive to go out here in the playoffs. School. Yeah, old school. Maybe that'll get us kicked off. So we win this game, Coach, and then it goes to RPI.
Yeah, RPI.
So we don't know where we would be.
Yeah, it would stop. So we would go to Mayfield.
It would? Okay, you got it.
Yeah.
All right. So it stops at the end of the regular season.
Yeah.
So we know we'd have a rematch with the Cardinals. It's based on the KHSAA RPI. And a lot of good football teams left in this 2A.
Yeah.
And then, of course, our buddy Sean Thompson is still alive this week. They've got, who'd they have?
Gosh, he threw me off there. I can't even remember exactly.
I've looked at it. I don't think they got
Warren East again. Is that right?
Yeah, it may be. And then, of course, Union County's still in it. Other teams we played still in it. McCracken's still in it.
Mm-hmm. Murray's still in it.
Murray's still in it. They have Mayfield this week.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of teams, on that tough schedule we had that's prepared us for this. So the culmination of it all, now we'll go see what we can do against one of the best teams in Class 2. One of the best teams, bar none, all classes, really. They're a quality football team.
Yep.
And, of course, number 3 in the state in the poll, and your Rockets are ranked number 9, so you have a big top 10 matchup here, Coach Courtney. Let's go down in Owensboro and get us a W.
Let's do it.
And move on.
Let's do it.
Go back to the state semifinals like you did in your senior year.
Yeah.
It was your senior year.
There was. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the plan.
It's been that long since we've been that far in the playoffs. So
Yeah.
we were talking about that before we came on, started recording the show, how cold it was in that game.
Yeah. It was cold.
day.
Yeah.
Looks like it's going
It's
to
not
be
cold
cooler.
this week, I don't think. Is it?
It's
Or is
cooler.
it cooler than it is
Yeah, a
now?
little
It's hot
cooler.
right now.
Yeah, it's almost 80 degrees today. A little cooler on Friday
That's
night.
good.
But,
We might
good
be
football
cramping
weather.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good
yeah.
football weather. All right, Rocket football fans, we'll see you over at Owensboro. And if not, I know they've got it on the. They have their own network on YouTube. We'd like for you to see you over there.
Yeah. Come support
Need
it.
all the support we can get.
Yep.
All the support we can get. We'll see you till next.